rescue one. Sheds hit the fan and we're overrun. Sending boys in the trucks with the 50 cals. Tell every swinging dick bring extra rounds. Hang in now, boys, we're on our way. Don't send them all to heaven before we get a taste. Whoa, cry havoc, let's slip the doors away. What you gonna do?
And happy Sunday to you folks. Welcome to another edition of the Double S Podcast. It's me, Gene. We are live. Happy Sunday night. Hope this video and or audio is catching you on a good evening. It's Sunday night here, wrapping up the weekend, getting things all taken care of. Hopefully you guys have had a good weekend. I've had an interesting one, to say the least, but also a lot of good R&R. That's come with this after some craziness to start it off, but we'll get to that stuff later here. Hey, let's go ahead and pay the bills, and then we got no guest here tonight, so I'm just going to give you an update. It's going to be a short episode tonight. Going to give you an update, then do a little housekeeping here. Just talk a little bit about life, talk about a couple things that have come up here, and just want to go ahead and share some information with you guys here. Let's see here. As usual, every episode of the Double S Podcast brought to you by the Romans Warrior Foundation. Pay attention to this deal here. At Romans Warrior Foundation, hashtag helping is healing. We're going to talk about this in a minute. We got a massive campaign that has just launched. We're going to get into that because it all centers right around the Global War on Terror's Wall of Remembrance at GWOT Wall, the only mobile monument in the nation traveling that is dedicated to the entire GWOT era. This is important, folks. This is vital that we remember these things and we honor these points in our history properly, so that we understand why we're making decisions in the future, and to honor the sacrifice of the men and women that have given their lives, and to the families that have provided that sacrifice in the name of the global war on terror. And this memorial is right at the heart of that. Romans Warrior Foundation is the steward of that wall. Also, every one of our episodes brought to you by the Heroes Media Group, Adam Bird, the entire team over there, Heroes HMG, the whole HMG family of podcasts and podcasters. Fantastic content, a lot of new shows going off on the HMG. Go check them out at heroesmediagroup.com. You will see a lot of the new stuff coming down, something every night, something for everybody, resources, entertainment, you name it. This stuff is there. Check them out. And of course, our little extension of the TPO, which is the Patriot Borderland Kayak Series at PBKS 2026. Basically an extension of our Tier 2 programs that we have there. All right. So the bills are paid. Let's go ahead and get into this. We have just seen an announcement that was just made by Mr. Brian Romans himself, the founder of the Romans Warrior Foundation, very good friend of mine and basically my mentor when it came to getting involved in nonprofit work, the man that helped pave a way for us and make it possible so that we could serve others. And I'm getting in the middle here of getting ready to share this screen with you. A massive campaign has been released on this, and I couldn't express the importance of this thing. Be looking, because this won't happen overnight. This is going to take time to put this together. But what we have, let's go ahead and bring it up here. This is a campaign to do one of many things here. Milestone 1, the vision. The Global War on Terror, Wall of Remembrance, Generation 3. The current wall is the second generation wall, and it is getting a little long in the tooth. We need this memorial to be updated a little bit more travel friendly, not as heavy or robust in regards to the requirements to set up, but it needs to be something worth the honor and sacrifice. in this memorial. So this undertaking of a third generation wall is no small feat whatsoever. Once that vision has come together, the build will take place. Once that build is taken place, we then, running simultaneously, need to secure an ability and a way for the next foreseeable future here to get this wall across the country. The toll that it has taken on people's individual vehicles and smaller trailers to get this thing here is coming to a close. And as those come to an end here, that there's a real danger that the wall itself won't be able to keep going. So we have to make sure that doesn't occur. Total of this whole project is the campaign goal is about $1.25 million to launch Generation 3. That's the build, the trailer support piece, the entire vision concept, putting this whole thing together. By the time it gets said and done, that's kind of where everything lands. Now, there'll be a budget piece that's going to be released here a little bit later. This is the original, or the initial press release that is coming out. So just go over to Romans Warrior Foundation here, do the @Romans Warrior Foundation, follow their Facebook page, or you can also follow them on Instagram. Follow them there, or reach out directly at romanswarriorfoundation.org, and you can get any additional information if you'd like it. And just follow along. More information will be coming down the pipe very, very soon with that. So big news, coming through there. And hey, on the existing roster right now, we have coming up here, pull up the calendar here, September, it starts September 11th, so 9/11 through 9/13. We will have that Global War on Terror's Wall of Remembrance. We'll be on scene at Osage Beach at Hy-Vee. It's going to be right there at the Hy-Vee grocery store at Osage Beach, Missouri. There will be an escort that we're going to have basically coming from the strip in Lake Ozark, Missouri, over to Osage Beach. Let's go ahead and bring that up. And you can see this. Let's see, put it up there. If you watch my personal page or go to the Romans Warrior Foundation, you'll see this here as well. We got some guest speakers going to be there, military vehicles on hand. There'll be an invocation, national anthem, of course. There is scheduled to be a flyover coming through. It is going to be an event, folks. I'm telling you, all my Missouri friends out there, come on by 9/11 weekend. Come by, see us out here with the wall. We'll be on scene. Love to get a chance to see some of our Missouri family and friends out there. And also, anybody in that area, if you know of a vet or first responder and family members that you would like to introduce them to kayak fishing, get with me on this, okay? We're bringing the fleet of new canoes. We're bringing the trailer out there. We're bringing all 4 of the kayaks coming with us. We're going to do 1 or 2 field ops while we are on scene there at Lake of the Ozarks. We'll get you out on the water and get you out in the kayaks through New Canoe, through the True Patriot Outfitters and Romans Warrior Foundation. We will do a field op piece out there. So get with us here. It's no cost whatsoever to come out and go fishing with us there. So hit us up on that. We'd love to have you there. This is going to be an amazing video. This is the 25th anniversary of 9/11 that's taking place, and so it's going to be a great event to get together. We're going to be tying in, with some local folks as well. And going to introduce you to some of those nonprofits as well, directly from the Lake of the Ozark area. It's one of my favorite areas around the country for sure to go and see. So being able to bring the wall to that area there, I love Missouri. I love the people there. It's going to be super, super cool. So come on down and see us, man. Can't wait for that. All right, let's see here. Let's turn the page over to some of the stuff TPO-wise. Dude, we've been busy beyond busy. Field op after field op. Tier 1 stuff going off at Aurora, Quincy, Lon Hagler, Stanley Lake. We've been doing a ton of these. Most of which I'd say about 80% we were able to get photo out there. Every now and again we take some folks out that would rather just not have their picture taken, and so we honor that 100%. We try to still let you know when we're out there, when we're going, but yeah. So, and really at the end of the day, when it's just me doing these things right now, my focus is on the people that we're taking out. As much as I would love to say it's on, getting media coverage, this and that. At some point, you got to draw a line somewhere. So my focus is on getting folks out safely and properly. So on the people, then the gear, then we try to fit the other stuff in there. But we have been super, super busy on all the way around the board. And speaking of Tier 2 events, that's the PBKS. Now, we did have an August event scheduled. If you caught our show a couple weeks ago, we actually canceled that event. The reason was logistics, trying to piece a few pieces of that puzzle together, and the timing just were not going to work out right. We weren't able to get all those things lined up the way we had really thought we would be able to. So no harm, no foul. In this case, we had set out to do 5 events, and that's exactly what we're gonna kick off. Our final event of the year that we have is scheduled for. It'll be technically the date is August 10th. It's the weekend from the 9th all the way through the 11th of October. That's when we will be down at Ute Reservoir, New Mexico. We started the season in New Mexico, and we're going to end the season in New Mexico. I cannot wait for this event to reconnect with our New Mexico folks. We're going to be going down there personally to see them here in September, but this one's going to be a big one, man. We are going to, what's really cool about this is that we're going to have kind of double the amount of prizes to give away because we're not going to have the August event. So there's going to be tons of prizes from Kistler rods, Amped Outdoors, Yak Attack, of course, Untamed Sportsman. We've got Anglers in Action for Christ. We have got just a pile, Eagle Claw Fishing, pile of cool stuff that we're going to be giving away down there at Ute Reservoir. I cannot wait for this. Be watching the PBKS page there. It's at PBKS 2026 on Facebook. Be watching that there. We'll get that event going up. The promo will start this month. We'll start getting it going. We'll be tying in, of course, directly with New Mexico, Bass Nation Kayak, Anthony Barrera, Matt Ramey, and the whole awesome group of folks down there. We're going to be tying in with them to put this event on and really make it something super special. So, yeah, be watching for that. We'll close out the season with that. Also, something super cool to let you know. We have just got word that they finally officially released the date for the Eco Fishing Shop Big Bass Kayak 250 that's going to be going on October 24th. Well, we will be there. We're taking a couple vets down there for their first time ever. And by say we're taking them, we're all going together. This isn't a sanctioned TPO event. Just because we just don't have the funds for this event right here. But the people that are all going, we're all splitting the cost on this to get us here. But there are 2 vets that are going to be coming with us on this that have never been to an event like this. We cannot wait to introduce them to one of the coolest events of the year, and that is this Big Bass 250. It's usually raining down there in October, so but it's still not bad, man. It just isn't. It's beautiful, beautiful country. Fall fishing Lake of the Ozarks gonna be amazing. Speaking of also officially what was released, and we are going to be already fundraising for this one, we do want this one to be an official Tier 3 event for us, and that is the All-American Kayak Classic that'll be going on at Truman Lake next spring. End of April, beginning of May. We are going to be aiming to try to make that a Tier 3 destination where we can take a couple vets out there to that, 2-3 vets, take them out. We will cover their lodging and, of course, getting them there. They cover their entry into the event. And we go from there, man, and let them experience another one of the most amazing events that goes off in the kayak game, which is the All American Kayak Classic. Every year, it's a wild event there. You know, there's a lot of money on the line. Of course, the club representation that goes on across the Midwest and the country out there. It's one of the biggest events that gets attended in the Midwest each year. So we're extremely excited about that and looking forward to getting there for that one. And so yeah, man, this is what do we got here? Oh my goodness, what is that one? Huh. Any rate, sorry folks, I was just got a message here that kind of staggered me a little bit there, but any rate. Yeah, so that's some of the stuff we got going here. We're going to be looking closely. The PBKS was a fantastic success, and we haven't even closed it out yet. We were able to go into our borderland states here and really work with the local communities on a fantastic level. Each one of these events turned out to just be something amazing and special. From New Mexico's attendance to the fundraising out of Kansas, the Kansas crew, man, what an amazing group of generous patriots that are out there. What they did for us to help, damn near made that thing almost a wash where it didn't cost us, much more than about $150 to make that event, which was very nice, and a welcome change, because these events are not inexpensive to put on, and we try to make these events about the people more than anything else, obviously. So doing that kind of work in service of others, it was awesome to have that kind of support. Looking back, retrospect, should have put something better up in Nebraska. The fires kind of kicked us off of that early on. We pushed back a little bit to try to give some room there. But next year, as we put this whole thing together, as we try to piece everything together, that will be on the board to make happen. As we want to get up to Nebraska once or twice, Kansas and New Mexico there. Put these events together and just see what we can do with some extra fun. Kansas has a couple options for us. We got some options way over here. Milford was fantastic. We had a great event there. We will definitely look to do that again. This time we'll do it with the Army Corps of Engineer though. The place we stayed before there, they were nice folks, very clean campground, but Army Corps is more willing to work with us to help keep our costs down, where the private place did not. So obviously, as we got to be stewards of our donations, and so we're going to be looking at that. Plus, those campgrounds were immaculate over at the Army Corps. So, any rate, all right. Let's see. So that's pretty much what we have here. Tournament fishing been real quiet, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm pulling out of a CKB event that's going to be going in Norton. I'm not going to be doing that one. Budget constraints, really, more than anything. And not for nothing, my focus just isn't on tournament fishing. It just really isn't. I'm there to hang out with people, and I'm there to be there. If I go to these things, it's to be around, the right type of people that I want to be around. And just missing some of the guys there, but not for nothing. We believe in staying true to ourselves. So when I'm forced with some budget thoughts there, tournament will be the first thing that goes. We're going to dump that. So for August, we're not going to be doing any tournament fishing. It doesn't look like, but we'll be getting out doing a pile of field ops, man. We'll be getting on that tip in a major way. Let's see here. Okay. So we've launched something. And it has nothing to do with our nonprofit work whatsoever. I got a couple guys that were in my ear, really asking me to go forward with something. And so I decided to go ahead and do it. And that is an opinion editorial page. And yeah, we talk some politics, right? The main thing that with the nonprofit game, I just can't endorse the as a founder, I have to make sure that the True Patriot Outfitters does not endorse any candidate or any party, right? And we don't. Me personally, I mean, the name of the page is The Moderate Patriot. I'm an independent by registration. I have no affiliation to the left and the right. These days, my opinions on a lot of these things does tend to land more, maybe perhaps on the conservative tip, but that's not necessarily my opinions changing to a conservative. That's more the conservative movements come to the center. They really have, and those are some of the things we talk about, dude. We get into stuff from Colorado politics to national politics. We're talking about, of course, current events, the Fauci, fifth pleadings that just took place. We're getting into some of that stuff. Talked about the 2A today. We put that one up there, kind of where we stand with this. Speaking of the 2A, go off on a little tangent here. Situation in Idaho. If you saw that, I believe Twin Falls. Is that where it was at? Anybody watching here, correct me if I'm wrong on some of this. Good guy with a gun basically thwarted this thing and really backed this scumbag off. A couple things that came out of this that I really just want to make sure of is to understand that this is a guy that, had content up there showing that he trains. He trains a lot. And I'll guarantee you there were some mouth breathers out there making fun, like, what an extremist, what a far right extremist, and what a da-da-da-da. No, he's a American citizen carrying a firearm and training every day. I believe he's a U.S. vet to boot. He was staying frosty, and it was a damn good thing. He was able to engage the shooter at this situation. I don't have the details on it, but yeah, there's plenty of stuff about that running all over the place now. And so I just thought that was pretty interesting stuff. And one of the things that I did bring up, this is to give you an idea of the type of opinion, stuff that I don't understand, and so I try to encourage my left-leaning friends, and I have many out there, which is good. I don't mind that, as long as we can, not immediately turn to the name calling and thinking that if somebody disagrees with you that they're the evilest human being that walks the planet. Then good, let's talk. Let's figure these things out. What I don't understand is how a situation like that unfolds, and the next step is we need more gun laws. Strict gun laws didn't work, so we need more. Don't understand that train of thought. When you consider that the people that are perpetrating these things don't care about laws, right? They're criminals. So the train of thought just doesn't register inside my head, and so that's the kind of thing we do on that page. It's called The Moderate Patriot. Go check me out on Gene Campbell on Facebook there, and you'll find it, or just search it. It doesn't have a handle just yet. It's still a new page. We're still young and small. But yeah, if you dig this stuff, chime in. Give me your opinion on some of that stuff. We'd love to hear from you, whether you agree with my opinion or not. Like I said, I'm always open to civil discourse and to discuss things. That's a great deal. And we as moderates and independents can no longer afford to sit back and be quiet. We've got to absolutely get to the voter box. I don't care what side of the aisle you sit. There is a socialist communist movement that's taking place in this country. It's there. They've said it. Everybody's talking about it now. This is one of those cases that I wish I wasn't right, but I made this statement before the last election took place. My family members can attest to it, that it was my belief after reading a few things that the Democratic Party had been infiltrated by an element inside its ranks, and now they've kind of shown themselves where they're at, and it's disgusting. I don't know any other way to say it, and so yeah, we break some of that stuff down. You'll be seeing more. We'll have more articles on that where we'll get into some of that stuff. Love to hear the conversation on there, so definitely give us a follow there. All right. last bit of business here to talk about. Then I wanted to just briefly do some housekeeping here. Here's the situation: the True Patriot Outfitters, nonprofit organization that I started 4.5 years ago, has been growing each year. We're rooted here in Colorado. We stretch outside the boundaries to go to good places, and we tie in with local support where we can, to just put these things together. Now, why do we do this? Well, as we've said from day one, we're trying to do our part to knock down, veteran suicide. Obviously, that's been the big thing there. But I'm going to be honest with you. We're pulling back from that language. Is that what we're doing? Sure. But none of us wearing lab coats, none of us with medical degrees, none of that with that. What we do is we attack 3 pillars: remove isolation, rebuild community, and restore mission and purpose. And at the end of the day, we're going fishing and camping, dude. And we try to extend our family. We try to grow the family. Every time we take somebody out, we try to bring them in. If they want a piece of this, if they want to, join in, that's their buy-in to it, then we give them a home. That's at the True Patriot Outfitters. Now, some people have been and left because they have ideas about what they want to do, where they want to go. Cool. But then others have come and they're still here, and now they've taken it to the next level where now they're getting involved in the next phase. And that's that restoring mission and purpose aspect, right, that we've been trying to do. When we say the TPO team, here's, I tell these guys this, but here's the funny thing. The team is just people that have gotten involved, that have experience, that are willing to volunteer their time to help. Now, that's vets, first responders, civilians. That's all of us, dude. We have an awesome, amazing team. We've had people on the team. We've had people leave the team for personal, direction change, whatever they want to do. And then we've had the team expand. Our team now is stronger than it ever has been. There's no question whatsoever. The proof's in the pudding. We have an amazing team of people that are just continuing to grow, and there's no border for this, right? There's no ceiling for how big or small this team can be or could grow to. We'll see where it goes. We've got some fantastic supporters and sponsoring organizations that get behind us, that extend some gratitude to not just the TPO but also the team members as well. That's always super cool. We love seeing that when these organizations, big one, Yak Attack, doing that for us. Love you guys over there. Thank you so very much. New Canoe helping us out, across the board on that. Always a good deal. And so that's it's a major deal for us, right? To keep growing this thing. Well, one of the things about the TPO, and this was unbeknownst to me when we first set it up. When you set up, I'm going to make a long story short here. When you establish a nonprofit organization, you'll get one of 2 designations doing the work that I do. One is a private foundation, or 2 is a charitable organization. Both of them are 501c3 nonprofits. Both of them are operating. You donate to them, you get your tax deduction, all the same. Just a little bit of difference on how you're classified. Private foundations are basically nonprofits that receive the majority of their funding from 3 to 5 resources, few resources, not many, not like general donations from the public. Well, to start the TPO, my family put the money up between my retirement fund and our personal monies and savings. We used that. So it was one location that the funds were used to get this thing off the ground, get it started and get it going. And the Romans Warrior Foundation helped facilitate quite a bit as well. Because of that, the IRS designated the TPO as a private foundation. No big deal, right? I didn't think it was that big of a deal until about 1.5 years ago when we started applying for certain grants. We wanted to take this. My objective isn't just to do good work, it's to build a sustainable organization that lasts well beyond me and the current team. To do that, you need to have a solid foundation of an organization. Businesses require funding to keep them going and to keep them up and running. And so we have a criteria that we want to put in place, and it's going to take some funding to get there. So we started looking at some grant money. Well, because we're a private foundation, we weren't even allowed to apply because these monies don't go to private foundations, only charitable organizations. One major one right here in Colorado is Colorado Gives, where there's a matching donation piece there. As a private foundation, we don't qualify. So a major fundraising deal at the end of each year here in this state, and we can't even partake in it whatsoever. So we started looking into what would it take to reclassify us. Well, the process is pretty wild. You have to make your application. You'll pay a fee, but you're going to make your application to the IRS and explain your case as to why you shouldn't be a private foundation. And to do that, you supply your tax returns and show that you receive your funding from a wide range of areas. Well, here we are, year 4. The first 2 years, it was basically my family, our budget, our monies, keeping the TPO up and running and moving. Year 3, a little bit more scattered. About half of the funding came from us. Year 4, literally 2/3 of the funding came from one location. And so bottom line is, the way it's set up and the way our history shows, we do look like a private foundation. Well, that's not where we need to be, right? So after talking with and getting together with a few other people here and starting to form a team around the development of, the natural progression of what we're going to be doing is we are going to be opening a new nonprofit organization. The True Patriot Outfitters will remain in play. It'll remain, fully visible and fully alive, and all that good stuff. That will stay. It's just going to be a smaller entity that does receive its funding when it needs funding. It'll receive its funding from 1 or 2 sources to keep things going. As we establish the new nonprofit and get it on its feet as a charitable organization, we'll transfer eventually any information or assets, I should say, and resources from the TPO over to the new one. It is my objective to make this as transparent as possible, completely visible. We're going to, like I said, we're making announcements now where we're going to get in front of it so people can see why we're doing what we're doing. And we're not shutting anything down. We're not closing anything off. Tax is still 100% visible to the known world, where people can see exactly where every bit of the donations, where it came from, where it went, what it's going to. The new organization will be built on that same principle, just more organization. We're going to have a tiered level from an executive board to advisory board. We'll have a little bit more structure coming into this. And we are going to be able to hit the ground running as a team, not just me. We'll have a team of individuals working behind the scenes on the administrative side of things, with fundraising, with compliance, with our legal, with our public relations. We will have all of this together. We're assembling that as we speak. Very exciting times. We're pretty stoked about it. We'll have more information as it comes through here. Like I said, we're going to be extremely visible and transparent with how we do this and how we roll it out. So same mission, same work, everything we're doing, just going to be a little bit different logo, that's going down for us on the next iteration there. You'll still see the TPO logo on the truck. It'll be a little bit smaller logo off to the side. We'll still be there. It's not going anywhere for at least a couple more years while we get everything established and set into place here. Nothing happens overnight in this world. I'll tell you that for sure. All right. That's enough business. I'm going to speak to you real quick, a little bit on a personal level here. And I just want to share this experience. And maybe somebody out there, maybe this resonates with you. Maybe you've been in this position. And I just want to give you maybe my view, my resolution, kind of the thing that I found, my pathway through some of this stuff. So you know that this is the organization that I run. I also work for HOW, Heroes on the Water, fantastic organization. I've agreed to and started work with Combat Recovery Foundation. I've got these three organizations that I'm doing here, four if you count Romans Warrior Foundation as well. And I believe in serving others. I believe in a life of service. It's what gives me my purpose. It's where I believe I'm supposed to be. It's where I believe God has helped direct me to, is this type of work. Most recently here, some of my family members have experienced some really, really rough deals. I've got one family member, not immediate, it's my extended family. But I am close with these folks. One family member who is dealing with some disability, some unbelievably crippling stuff that's changing their life upside down. And it's wickedly challenging. All right, from all levels, not just the tangible, but the mental, the emotional, everything. And I want to help them. I love them dearly. They've been there for me my entire life, and so they've agreed to allow me to step in and help them with some, busy work, some groundwork, me doing some research here and there. Sometimes an extra set of eyes can be a helpful thing. And that's really all it is. We'll put our collective noggins together, and we're going to figure some stuff out. So I've been working with that amongst doing this stuff here. Something that I do want to share with you, because it's important for the context of this, to put this all together. The work that I do in service of others, all of the nonprofit stuff here, from TPO, RWF, CRF, I don't receive pay for this. Okay, my wife is our breadwinner in my family. She is who takes care of everything with the budget and so forth while I do this work here, and I'm trying to cure this. Make no mistake, that bugs the hell out of me. I'm not going to lie, right? Never been in this position ever in my life, and here I am. I have an amazing, amazing family that supports the work that we do, and I don't take a minute or a day of that for granted whatsoever. But that also is always in the back of my head, is that, you know what, getting to the point of making even just a small salary to do this kind of work is absolutely a goal, 100% a goal. Just, something very, very small, but just enough to make a difference, So, back to family member. Well, another family member of mine has been diagnosed with a terminal illness. And they're very young also. Not a cool thing, right? Not a good thing. And they don't want to be in this position. They're notably not okay with this. They want more time than what they're going to get. And they live out in Minnesota. And so after talking with them on the phone, I can tell you this. It's one of my sisters. Need to get there to her, right? Need to get out there. It's about 12, 13-hour drive to get there, but need to get there and spend some time and just do some one-on-one chatting with my sister. And see if maybe I can, she and I share faith. We share faith in God and in Jesus. And so just spending some time with her one-on-one and living in that and being in that. I think it's important. Well, I was supposed to go this last weekend. I actually am supposed to be in Minnesota right now. Last week, my son was with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's sister and their dog. They went up to his girlfriend's family, which is up in North Dakota. On his way home, his car grenades out. 2018 car should have never happened. It's been a great car, but fluke deal takes place. Literally, the car is basically undrivable, and he's 8 hours away from home, caught in the middle of nowhere up there in South Dakota. Get a tow truck. State Farm, shout out to you for roadside assistance. Herman, the tow truck driver, you sir, a godsend. God bless you, Herman. He took care of the kids. He got them up, took them 35 miles, backtracked them up towards Pierre, South Dakota. There, the capital, Fort Pierre. Right underneath. Got us connected up with an amazing mechanic shop there, and the kids stayed in a hotel. Well, we set the plan up that if the car wasn't done by Friday, I had to come get them so they could get back here, get back to work. And so that's what we did. I drove up Friday, got up there, stayed the night at that hotel. We got on the road super early, had them home by, lunchtime basically here on Saturday. 8 hours one way, 8 hours back. And now it'll be Tuesday, probably my guess is right around Tuesday, Wednesday, I got to take him back up there to go get his car back. And then we got to drive back. And I got to tell you, why am I telling you all this stuff? Here's why. Because I have some amazing friends. My friends and my family have been reaching out to me. Dude, are you doing okay? You got a lot on your plate right now. You got a lot of stuff going on. And I'll be honest, I didn't think it was really getting to me too much. Feeling a little overwhelmed, trying to be there for everybody, trying to be there for the people that I serve through the nonprofit, for my family and friends that are here. I take friendship very seriously, provided it's never violated. And when it is, then I disconnect super fast. But yeah, I do believe in being there for my friends where I can. And then, of course, wanting to be there for family members as they're going through some tough times. One of my family members, I was having a problem with the way that they were dealing with the situation up there, in that it kind of felt like they were more concerned about themselves than the person going through the thing. And I get it, right? I get it. It's easy to do. And lo and behold, as I'm driving up to South Dakota to go get my son, I start kind of thinking this inside my head. I realized that throughout this whole thing, I had been kind of looking at myself like how, you gotta keep it together, dude. You gotta stay grounded. You have to be there for this. You have to be there for that. And before I knew it, I was kind of caught in my own feels, right? And I was not looking forward to the long drive, and these things were kind of going in my head. And I got to tell you, that just did not rest well with me. I've got family members, I've got people that I know that are going through some really tough times, some shitty deals, man, right? And here, I'm going to sit over here inside my own head, and I'm going to boo-hoo about me trying to be there, like it's somehow about me. No. And I don't give 3 squirts of monkey dookie either direction if someone says, well, it's okay to take time for yourself. Maybe so, but I'll tell you what it's not okay, and that is to lose sight about what the real deal, what's going on right now. And I can tell you where I found strength, and that is flat out prayer. I take some time and I talk to God, and I humbly ask for some strength, some guidance to really focus myself up, be strong for those around me. I don't have to provide answers or solutions, right? This is the thing you got to get in your head. Problem doesn't mean you got to solve it. Sometimes just being there for somebody, sometimes just being a calming, voice or a presence can be extremely, extremely helpful. People aren't going to handle things the way you want to handle them always. And just because they don't doesn't mean that you should go and get pissed at them and think that they don't want my help. Well, maybe your help is what you would want. Maybe it's not what they would want. You can try to advise. You can try to, give people sound advice for sure. But at the end of the day, it's their decision on what they want to do with it. And that still shouldn't change you as a person as far as how much you're willing to be there for them. I wanted to share that with you that, man, even if let's say you're not a person of religious faith or a belief in Christ, I wish you were. Because, man, I got to tell you, when you get here, and I have so much more to learn. But I can tell you the calming factor that takes place and the strength that I feel, even when the world is going batshit crazy around you, you can really dial some things in and really see things for what they are. It's a calming and empowering feeling. And this is where all it does for me is it just reinforces that faith. You can say what you want to say. You can have your doubt all you want to have a doubt. But I know what I feel here and in my gut, man. It's there. And yeah, my day, 24, 36 hours of thinking about this kind of overwhelming me personally, gone. Get rid of it. Stow that shit. Pack it away. We don't have time for it. We've got people that need some help. We got people that could use an ear. And if I'm in a position to do so, these are people that I love. And so, yeah, damn right. We're going to go get her done. Hey, if you find yourself in any of those type of positions and you want questions, you ever want like just big ears to listen to, especially talking about things around faith. If you have questions about faith, I learn new stuff every day. I don't have all the answers. I'm definitely no beacon of example. That's not what that would be about. But if you ever just want to bounce questions, I've figured out a few things, seen a couple of this stuff. Love to chat with you. Hit me up. Always willing to share it where there's questions out there, because it is an amazing thing. I got to tell you, it's empowering. It's all encompassing. And it really does change how you see the world and how you proceed moving forward. I'll tell you that. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. This is a little bit longer than even what I thought it was going to be. 48 minutes. My goodness. I've never been told that I can't talk. Maybe that's why I got a podcast. Hey, next weekend, for reals, I will not be live. We might have a recorded show for you on the 9th, maybe. If not, I'll put out a deal leading up to it saying no show going on there. We may try to record something with an interview or so that we'll put up on the 9th. But I've got a lot of plans going on that weekend. It's my wife's birthday, and we've got 2-3 days worth of things planned. We can't go away anywhere, so we got a bunch of stuff planned throughout the days that we're going to go do. She is my rock. She is my saint. She makes all things possible for the TPO and such. So by God, we celebrate the heck out of her, and it is a fun birthday for us. So we're gonna go have some good times, and I will be off on Sunday. So I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I sincerely do. Those of you who watch this stuff, listen to this stuff later, those of you tuning in live here, thank you so very much. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Craig, I see your comment here. You have a few hard plastics. Do I want to set up a page to sell? It's not that easy, brother, to cover some of the cost. it's not that easy just to set up a page. It takes a subscription and it takes a tie-in with a merchant account. We did it a few times in the past year, but if you want to chat, we could. There's some other ideas that I have, Craig. So what we could do there. So thank you for your offer. That is phenomenal. To help us with that, and yeah, there might be some stuff we can come up with here, working together to do something with the stuff you have, and we can go that route. So we'll figure it out. Hit me up, Craig, on the backside there. All right, folks, we're gonna tune her out here. Make sure smash the subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Check out the Moderate Patriot if you want. If you like getting into some opinions here and there. Either way, tight lines. Be safe. Take care of each other. And God bless.